Alright guys, make sure you're checking out these clearance sections after Christmas. Look what I just found at Walmart. This is definitely going in my room. Not really seeing anything. I tried to look around the toy section, but I have to say, this place is so disorganized, and they haven't really gotten anything new in since the last time I went, months ago. I don't really go to Walmart too much, but I had a purpose today, so I figured I'd make the most of it and get some fun stuff out of it. I was looking at these Batman Squishmallows, but they're just a little too big for me to justify picking up right now. I just don't really have the space for something like that, but they are so cute in my opinion. I think I have to get this for Luke. Luke is obsessed with this show. And so am I a little bit. I know you're not supposed to admit that, but just ran into Walmart, and I've told you guys before, always check the clearance section after holidays and get a load of what I just found. This LED Batman light. Really, really cool. This will go great in my nerd room. I also picked up for my husband Luke a copy of Has-Been Hotel Season 1 on Blu-ray. So this is a show that he's been into since the pilot first dropped, like back in 2021 or something like that, and he showed it to me, and we've been really getting into the show. I know this is one of those things that people say is kind of cringe, and you're not supposed to say that you like the show, but it's a fun show. And the reason I wanted to pick up this Blu-ray is because I heard that there's like a commentary track that goes with all 8 episodes, so we've been kind of itching for some more content from this show. And on my way to checkout, I got a couple of these Bitty Pop blind bags. I got a cool little display for these that's shaped like a bat symbol, so figured I'd open a couple more of these bags. I have the Jack Nicholson Joker. So, let's open, see what we got. Oh, look at that. We have a Riddler from Batman 2021. Pretty neat. Oh, I'm seeing a Batman, and it's not one that I already have. Okay, so we have 2 from the Batman. And we also have a little Riddler to go with him, so that's pretty perfect. That will look really cute on my display, so that's awesome. And I might be checking out some other shops today. Going to the Walden Galleria Mall later to watch the new SpongeBob movie, so while we're there, I might hassle Luke to stop at Newbury Comics and maybe a couple other spots, so stay tuned for that. Okay, just ran into Wegmans, and they have these little mini Batman Squishmallows. goodness. I saw some of these at Walmart in like the full size and I wanted them, but I'm like, I don't really have room for all that, so I think I'm gonna get one of these. Not sure. I really like this one because he's kind of grumpy, but this one's also happy and cute, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna get the grumpy one though. I got both. So I did wind up making it to Newbury Comics. This is a mall comic shop, but they actually have some of their own variants, like this Batman Deadpool that was kind of interesting. And this shop was recommended to me by a viewer, Steve Sorensen. So thank you to him. He let me know that this place was opening in my area and told me I had to go take a look. Really cool. Did you see
in the mouth, you put coins in the mouth. That's actually really cool.
You see, there's another Jaws thing behind you.
Yeah, that looks cool, but I can't put coins in it.
Something I'm not glad about, though, is that unfortunately a lot of the comic books have dings and are damaged because at the mall you get a lot of casual people. It is a shame there, but their trade paperback section is pretty decent. Oh. The ramen bowl.
Rice bowl.
Oh, rice bowl. That is adorable. Immediately walking in, it feels like an FYE, but in my area, the FYE is not as good as it used to be. So, like, this feels like walking into good FYE. Except they don't really sell movies, they sell music though, and a lot of it is kind of overpriced, so I was looking at the CDs, and there were some things that I would have picked up if they were a little cheaper, but I'll just go to my local record shop for those. Still really cool to look at though. I'm glad that a place like this exists. Look at the little Christmas ornaments. Look at the bear. Look at that fridge magnet. Oh, look at that, Luke. See that?
Tommy.
That's Tony. Oh, there's a cool Ozzy.
That's pretty cool, dude. Let me see that.
Well, there you have the first video of the new year, and I think it was a great one. We are kicking it off with some great pickups. The first one I'm going to show off is this LED neon light from Walmart. I got this in the clearance section, and I always tell you guys, check the clearance sections after holidays. They tend to put out some really good stuff. This was $14.50. I wasn't really even filming, but when I saw this, I knew the camera was coming out. And then I made my way over to like the toy section. I didn't really see much there, but I always like to check, and I always like to check the physical media. And I don't really pick up a whole lot of Blu-rays anymore. I just don't see much that I'm looking for, but I did pick this up. Hate if you want, but got Has-Been Hotel Season 1. This is something that me and my husband have really enjoyed watching, so picked it up so we can watch the commentary track that's on there. You know, you can say what you want about the show. If you're not into musical theater type stuff and kind of raunchy humor, this wouldn't be for you, but I think it was a lot of fun, and it's a big deal for indie animation. Luke, my husband, is a lot more into animated stuff and cartoons than I am, so he found out about this like way back in the day when the pilot came out. He's a lot more in tune with that stuff than me, so for him it was really cool to see this get the treatment that it did. I will say that part of the reason I really wanted to pick this up is because I just really appreciate when they still put the effort into physical releases. And this has a really nice slipcover to it. It has a bit of a foil thing going on, and it is embossed, which is always nice. And then it has the clear case, which is kind of like what they do with Criterion releases. And then inside there's actually a fold-out poster and a little trading card. So I think it's really cool when they go the extra mile to have cool art, cool inserts. You just really don't get that. A lot of the times it's just case and a disc, take the movie poster and pop it on. There you go. This is one of those things where I can't necessarily give the recommendation, unless if you like stuff that kind of feels like South Park with musical theater. I guess that's kind of how I would describe it. So if that sounds good to you, check it out, and if not, steer clear. The last thing I got from Walmart were these bitty pops that I opened from a mystery bag. I showed it in my Christmas video. I got this like Batman shelf that's made to put these on, and I got a Batman and a Joker from The Dark Knight with that. So now I have Batman and Riddler from the 2021 Batman movie. These are just so cute, and I actually really like these because I have a little set of personal Funko Pops you might be able to see up there. So these kind of work out. It's kind of like she has her own little Funko Pop collection. I think it's funny. I appreciate just goofy little things like that. And then before I get to the stuff I got at Newbury Comics, I did get these little Batman Squishmallows. When I was at Walmart, I actually showed the full-size version of this, and I wanted it, but I really just don't have room for that. I used to buy like every cute Batman thing I saw, and it gets to the point where you just can't do that, but these are just so small and cute. These were actually at Wegmans. I got this one and the blue version. The blue version's actually out in the car right now, but had to put... but I'm gonna find a place in here to put this guy. It's just really cute to me. So, alright, I went to Newbury Comics for the first time. This is a shop I went to on the recommendation of a viewer. He kept telling me, check out Newbury Comics. So, eventually I was like, alright, and we were already going to the mall that it's at. So, what did I think about it? The whole mall comic shop experience? It was interesting. It reminded me a lot of FYE, and I kind of like that. I liked FYE before they kind of phased out some of the physical media stuff, so this is kind of like that, where they have vinyls, records, t-shirts, other collectibles, and then in the back corner there was kind of a little comic section, and there was a shelf of graphic novels, and I will show you guys what I picked up. I got one comic book, and it was Absolute Batman number 13, the Art Germ variant. I do have a cover A of this, but I never got the Art Germ variant, so figured I would grab that. Absolute Batman stuff has just been flying off the shelf lately, so I figured that that might be a place where I could find some still lingering around, and there were definitely a few, but I will say something that's kind of a downside of the whole mall comic shop experience is that you have a lot of people just casually flipping through them who probably don't care about comics, so a lot of the books were damaged and bent, and this one actually has some spine ticks on it that I did not notice until I got it home. Very unfortunate. There were actually some of those Mark Spears blind bags left. Interesting to still see some of them out on the shelf, but unfortunately, yeah, a lot of the single issues were damaged, so if I were to go back there, I probably would just focus on the trade paperback section, a lot of recent stuff, but it was all buy one, get one half off for the graphic novels and manga, so that's actually a pretty good deal, and something I might take advantage of in the future, especially if they're running other sales in the store, because I really like looking at collectible stores like that, so I really liked looking around. It kind of felt like what FYE used to be, because in my area we had some pretty cool FYEs, and then one of them closed, and one of them like really downsized, and hardly has anything left, but this place actually had stuff, and that's one thing I'll say about them, is that they definitely had stuff. Like, you could look around for hours. Some of it was definitely, a little bit overpriced. But it's all stuff that's cool to see. It's fun to look around. I looked a little bit at the CDs. They have a big CD and vinyl selection, but it was all way more than I wanted to pay. I was looking at the new Sabaton and Ghost albums, and they're all just like, if I was going to pay that, I'd rather go to a local record shop, but regardless, it is what it is. I got one more thing, actually. We were looking at the fun socks and hats, and I wear a lot of hats, particularly beanies, and it's getting cold this time of year, so I wanted to get a new beanie for the 2026 season, and because I have to let everyone know what a pothead I am, this was the one that I went with. I thought that this was just really cool. Purple's probably my favorite color, and it's getting cold, so I will definitely be getting some use out of this. So, what did I think of Newbury Comics? Would I go again? Yeah, I would definitely go again, but I probably would not buy single issues unless if there was just something really cool, especially if it was like Black Friday or if they were running a special sale. So thank you again to Steve for letting me know about that place. So I think that's it. Thank you for joining me and helping me bring in the new year.